Good morning, ma'am. My name is Batime Base and I'm the leader of Group 3 and I'll be tackling Section 1 tonight. So, Section 1, of course, the title, the Parole and Probation Administration Omnibus Rules and Probation Methods, and the procedure serves as the comprehensive framework for the administration probation in the Philippines. So, these rules establish the guidelines and applications of the procedures, supervision methods, and the rights and obligations of the probationers, aiming to ensure the probation serves as the mechanism and offender rehabilitation. Yun po yung overall na purpose nila. Section 2, it is the policy, objectives, declared purpose. These rules are to carry the purpose of PD 968 as follows. Number 1 is to promote the correction and rehabilitation of the offenders because the under PD 968, the rules designated to provide the individualized community-based treatment for the offenders. So, this approach meant to address the root cause of the criminal behavior, which can include the factors of the substance abuse, like abuse, mental health issues, and lack of education or employment opportunities. By offering tailored support and intervention of the program, seeks the helps of offenders overcome their challenges and integrate into society as a productive and a law-abiding citizen. So, letter B, you provide an opportunity for reformation and reintegration into the community. So, this rules emphasizes the importance of giving the offenders a chance to reform or a second chance to reintegrate to their community. This can involve the providing with access to the education, job training, participating to the community-based programs, ganun. Or maybe the offender can learn some skills and develop relationship with the supportive individuals like their family and organizations that can help successfully integrate into the society. So letter C, prevent the commission of the offense. So yun nga po. Finally, the rules aim to reduce the likelihood of the offenders reflecting the addressing and by providing the offenders with the tools and support, magiging maaari or magiging law-abiding citizen po sila. And these issues or the community-based programs can help them to prevent the commission of crime for the further offenses and ultimately contribute to the safer community. So, Section 3, the provision have cited pertains the liberal construction of rules in the context of probation law, Administrative Code of 1987. This principle emphasizes that these rules should be interpreted liberally in order to effectively implement the social justice of the intent of the probation law, as well as the policy objectives to the declared purpose of the rules of an accordance of social justice orientation of 1987's Constitution. So, here in Section 3, in summary, the provision we referred emphasizes the importance of interpreting the probation of law para maging liberally to advance the underlying social justice goals, thereby prioritizing their spirit and intent over all literal interpretation when necessary. Section 4, of course, probation. Probation is a legal disposition that allows the convicted defendant released to the community under the supervision of a probation officer. So, si petitioner naman po, si petitioner po yung convicted defendant who files the application for the probation. This individual seeks to the probation as an alternative serving to jail or prison. Yun po yung probation. Si petitioner po pala. Probationer, ito yung person that has been placed to the probation. This means they have granted the release to the immunity under the subject of supervision of the probation officer. So, of course, si probation officer, ito yung he or she is responsible overseeing the individuals or on probation. This may include the investigation, referrals to the probation, supervising the probationers, or performing other related duties as directed by the court. Section 5, Trial Court, of course, refers to the court with jurisdiction over the particular case in the Philippines. This typically, yung RTC, Regional Trial Court of the province or city municipal that has authority to over the case, of course. The trial court is responsible for the conducting trials, of course, hearing evidence, making the decisions of the law, kung guilty ba or not guilty of the offender, and the facts, of course, they presented. Of course, again, probation office, the legal system is tasked with conducting investigations and supervising the referral related to probation. This office can be either at a provincial city level, or the crucial role assessing the individuals who are eligible for the probation. So, or as well as the supervising those who can have granted probations, of course. Probation order, it is an order issued by the trial court granting the probation to individual has convicted of the crime. So, Parole and Probation Administration, of course, the PPPA, it is the officials that's who was worked to the administrative structure, and it is responsible for parole and probation services. These officials may be invited by the court, which fall in the purview of the courts. So, Section 5, yung amicus curiae, refers to a person or entity that is not a party of a case, but it is invited by the court to provide expertise or insight of the particular issue. So, in the context of probation investigation, the supervision issues the administration and the deputy administrator, the agency level, chief probation, parole officers, provincial level, carry upon the written invitation. So, itong amicus curiae, in summary, these legal terms play essentials to the administration of justice, and particularly relation to the probation services and the court proceedings. So, Section 6, filing. It is the application of probation must file with the trial court that has jurisdiction over the case. This means the court responsible for the hearing, deciding the case, received the application. Yun. Section 7, time of filing. The applicant must file their application with the trial court anytime after the conviction and the sentence within the period or perfecting the appeal as provided by the rules of the court. This means that the application should be filed before the deadline for filing an appeal, allowing the court to consider the application alongside appeal process. Section 8, of course, form. It is the probation should be a form approved by the Secretary of Justice as recommended by the administrator, or may prescribed by the Supreme Court. Officially, application forms of Xerox copies and the same to obtain secured by the city. So, Section 9, notice of prosecuting officers and the filing of application. The trial court may notify the concerned prosecuting or filing the application at a reasonable necessary before scheduled of hearing. Therefore, this means that the court may inform the prosecuting officer in this application, which could have providing with the copy of application or notifying to the hearing date. So, in summary, this process is applying for the probation involves filing the application with the correct court, submitting the application within the specified time frame, following the approved form, and potentially notifying the prosecuting officer of the application. So, yeah.
Section 10 po. Maaaring sumite ng opisyal ng pag-uusig ang kanyang mga komento kung meron man. sa aplikasyon na loob ng makatuwirang panahon na binibigay sa kanya ng trial court mula sa kanyang pagtanggap ng notice to comment. Section 11. Kung napag-alaman ng trial court na ang aplikasyon ay nasa angkop na anyo at ang aplikante ay lumilitaw na kwalipikado para sa pagkakaloob ng probation, ito ay mag-uutos sa lungsod o provincial parole o probation office na nasa jurisdiction nito na nagsagawa ng post-sentence investigation o PSI sa ang aplikante at isinumite ang post-sentence investigation report o PSIR sa loob ng 6 na po. 60 2 buwan araw mula nang matanggap ang utos ng nasabing hukuman na magsagawa ng naturang investigasyon na may mga natuklasan na rekomendasyon na nakasaad sa PD 968 na sinusunugan. Section 12. Lahat ng mga utos ng hukuman para sa PSI na ang mga kopya nito ay natanggap ng probation office ay dapat na nasa magkasunod na bilang sa order na natanggap ng nasabing tanggapan at itala sa docket book nito para sa layunin na nagsasaad doon. Bukod sa iba pa, ang petsa ng pagtanggap nito sa hukuman ay sangay na tirahan nito pangalan at aplikante, numero ng kaso ng kriminal, paglalarawan ng pagtatalaga ng pagkakasala, ang parusang pinataw at kaugnayan nag-uugnay na data information. Kaakibat nito, maaaring utusan ng tayo sa aplikante na mag-ulat sa nararapat. Probation office sa loob ng 72 oras sa loob ng pagtanggap na naturang kautusan. Section 13. Ang trial court ay maaaring magtanggap ng aplikasyon na iniyain na suspinde na pagpapatupad sa atol na ipinataw sa atol. Nakabini na ang pagsumite ng PSIR, PPA Form 3 at ang resolution sa aplikasyon ng aplikante ay maaaring pahintuluan sa pansamantalang kalayaan sa ilalim ng kanyang piyansang inihain sa kasong kriminal. Sa kondisyon na kaso kung saan walang piyansa ang inihain o ang aplikante ay walang kakayahang magsampa ng isang maaaring pahintuluan ng hukuman ng pagtitiis ng palayain sa aplikante sa pagkakilala, pangangalaga ng isang responsableng miyembro ng komunidad na magagaransya sa kanyang pagharap sa tuwing kinakailangan ng hukuman ng paglilitis. Pag-imbestiga sa matapos pangungusap. Section 14, Section 14. Pagkatapos matanggap mula sa trial court ang city o provincial parole and probation office na kinukulan sa pamagitan ng CPPO ay magtatalaga nito sa office clerk para sa dakating at uli ay pagtatalaga sa isang subordinate investigation probation officer para sa pagsasagawa ng PSI o pagsasagawa ng naturang investigasyon mismo. Section 15. Sa loob ng 5 araw sa trabaho mula sa pagtanggap na nasabing itinalagang pagtatalaga o pagtatalaga sa sarili, ang imbestiga ng probation officer sa kaso o chief probation at parole officer ay unang pakikipanayam ang aplikante kung siya ay humarap sa probation office sa pagtugon at pagitumput 2 oras na limitasyon na binibigay sa kanyang trial court. Kung hindi maaaring isulat sa probation officer na kaso ang aplikante, sa kanyang binigay na address sa korte personal na bisitahin ang lugar ng aplikante upang ma-schedule ang pangunahang probation office. isang waiver cam authorization PPA Form 2 na pagpapahintulot sa PPA at probation office. Siguro din ang anumang impormasyon at impormasyon ng aplikante ay nararapat sa isa tuparan at lagdaan niya. Section 13 sa matapos magawa ang post-sentence investigation ng worksheet at waiver cam authorization, ang parehong ay dapat agad na isumite sa probation office at nag-investigasyon probation officer na kaso o CPPO ay magsasagawa ng masusing investigasyon.
Other relatives, including barangay official and disinterested person. So, bali dapat po dito sinasabi na kailangan po natin ikalat sa ang ating ating kaalaman sa trabaho upang yung mga wala pong direct na idea po sa mga papasukan nilang trabaho ay meron po silang makuhang idea sa atin. Kumbaga, dapat natin yung information knowledge natin ay sisabi po natin sa ibang tao. Mga halimbawa po dito yung HRM po ay mga nag-applicant po na ay mga hinire po ng ng isang business po na nag-hire po ng mga applicant. Dapat po one by one nilang sinasabi po yung mga dapat nilang malaman sa trabaho po na gusto nilang mapasukan. Dapat po natin nag-aalat po yung mga kaalaman natin sa mga relative or other person na mga taong nakakasalamuhan natin. Kagaya po ng mga pamilya, mga kamag-anak, mga kapitbahay, barangay, o mga hindi interesadong tao para maging interesado sila sa napasukan nilang trabaho sa atin. Section 18. Subsequent or further interviews. To obtain additional data, counter-check, or clarify discrepancies between the information received from the applicant and those secured from other sources, the investigating probation officer on case or CBPO may conduct subsequent or further interviews on the applicant and or other person as deemed appropriate. Bali naman po dito, sabi yung mga dagdagan po ng mga nakuha po natin na information ng mga taong interview po natin. Dapat natin pagbugtong-dugtungin natin po para malaman natin kung sila yung mga karapat dapat po natin na ipasok dito sa mga trabahong na papasukan nila. Kailangan ikaw mismo na bilang head care po ng isang ikaw ay investigating probation officer po. Dapat ikaw po yung mismo na prevent mo po na dapat silang na karapat dapat na makuha sa isang trabaho na papasukan. Section 19. Nature of interview. The data and information gathered from the interview of the applicant and or other person and from other collateral information as well as a law enforcement agency should be strictly privileged and confidential in nature. During such interview information gathering process, the applicant does not necessarily need to be represented and assisted by counsel. So, valid din po dito, yung parang may pagkakaano lang po sila ng section 18 po. Na kailangan yung gathered ng pag-i-interview po natin is yung sure na swak po na dapat po sila yung makuha natin ng maayos. Kumbaga, strictly po natin silang suriin sa kada isang tao na sa nakakasalamuhan nila na sila yung dapat nilang makuha o pwede silang dapat na pagkatiwalaan sa trabaho na kanilang ina-apply. Kada pagkatapos po ng interview, paprocess po natin na i-assist po natin sila sa dapat na gawin po bilang head management or interview management na isang tao ay isang mga aplikante po. Section 20. Confidential of post-sentence investigation information. The investigation probation parole officer or on KCPPO inform the applicant of the confidential nature of the information taken during the PSI and the limited scope and extent whereby said information may be disclosed only to some statutorily designated authorities and entities pursuant to Section 17 of PD 968 as amended and Section 64 of these rules. So, bali po dito, yung confidential po ng isang applicant na sa ating nature ng ginagalawan po ng ating sa probation and parole ng pag-iimbestiga po. Kailangan po natin dito na makuha ng maayos po yung kung dapat po silang mabigyan ng isang yung PSI na limited lang po na pwede natin itama ay pagkaloob sa mga taong karapat-dapat po. Section 21 absconding applicant. If the applicant those whose application for probation has been given due course by the proper court has failed to present himself or herself to the proper office when 72 hours from his receipt of the probation order or with reasonable time, therefore said officer should first exert best diligent efforts to inquire on search, find and locate his whereabouts before it should report such fact with an inappropriate recommendation to the proper court consideration the surrounding circumstance of place, date and time, his health condition and other related factors. So bali naman po dito yung mga mga aplikante ng probation po. Kailangan po natin silang i-conduct po sila na maka-attend po sila ng co-obtain din 72 hours. Kasi po para malaman natin na yung probation na binigay po na isang court po natin is dapat natin na malaman kung sila po ay nagpakaayos na po sa kanilang ginagagawa sa buhay. Tapos lagi po natin silang subaybayan ng na yung mga kalagayan po nila kung saan sila natira, kung anong pinagagawa sa buhay, tapos kung anong condition po nila sa katawan or mga nila yung mga magiging okay po nilang pangyayari sa buhay po na ay maging maging okay na sila sa pamumuhay nila ngayon. Section 22 submission. After the completion of the PSIR, PPA from the probation office should submit such PSIR to the trial within the period prescribed in Section 7 of the Probation Law of 1970 amended or within period ordered by the trial court. Yung sabi naman po dito sa submission na yung PSIR po, yung PPA from the probation office such PSIR so trial court natin, dapat po mas okay po natin siya na pin-upgrade po siya dito na kumbaga dapat nating pag-igiyan yung mga bibigay po natin ng oras o pagtaon ng pansin sa mga tao na binigyan po natin ng.
Good day, Ma'am Arga. I'm Vincent M. De La Cruz. I-report ko po yung Parole and Probation Administration Omnibus Rules on Probation Methods and Procedure, Section number 23 to 28. Section 23, Purpose. The PSIR aims to enable the trial court to determine whether or not the ends of justice and the best interest of public primarily, as well as that of the applicant, would be served by the grant or denial of the application. Ang purpose daw po nito ay ma-enable ang trial court na determine kung sino ang magagrant or deny sa application ng probation. Section 24, Contents. The PSIR shall contain among others the following: 1. Circumstances surrounding the crime or offense for which the applicant was convicted and sentenced, taken from the applicant himself, offended party, and others who might have the knowledge of the commission of crime or offense, and pertinent information taken from the police and other law enforcement agency if any. Sinasabi po dito na dapat po ay nakapaloob daw po yung circumstances na crime, kung anong crime po yung na-commit ng applicant. Number 2, details of other criminal records if any. Kung meron pa daw, dito naman po sinasabi na kung meron pa daw pong other criminal records yung applicant, dapat po ay nakalagay po siya. Number 3, personal circumstances, educational, economic, and socio-civic data and information about the applicant. Kailangan din po nakalagay daw kung ano po yung educational attainment, economic, and socio-civic data ng aplikante. Number 4, characteristic of applicant, employable skills, employment history, collateral information. Dapat din daw po na nakalagay yung yung mga past po niya na employment kung meron po, tsaka po yung skills, kung ano pong skills ang meron siya. Number 5, evaluation and analysis of the applicant's suitability and legal capacity for probation and his potential rehabilitation, reform, development, transformation, and reintegration into the community. Dapat din daw po mailagay kung ano po yung potential niya sa rehabilitate, sa pagbabago po ng sarili niya sa community. Number 6, recommendation to grant the application including probation period, probation condition, and probation treatment and supervision plan program, or deny the application. Kailangan daw po mailagay kung ano po yung recommended na probation period, conditions, or kung dapat po ba siyang i-grant or i-deny. Number 7, data and information on the applicant's financial condition and capacity to pay his civil liability if any. Kung meron po na siyang kakayahan na bayaran yung civil liability niya, o kaya po yung mga panggastos niya financially, kailangan din po ilagay. Number 8, result of finding of drugs, psychological and clinical test conducted if any. Kung naging drug user or may sakit po siya sa pag-uutak, kailangan din po ilagay. Number 9, result of criminal record if any, whether decided or still pending, furnished by various law enforcement agency tapped by the probation office for such purpose. Kailangan po ilagay yung mga criminal records niya sa ibang agency. Kailangan po ilagay yung mga criminal records niya sa ibang agency. Number 10, result of courtesy investigation, whether GCI, FBCI, or PGCI, if any, conducted in the birthplace or place of origin of applicant, especially if he plans to reside there at while on probation, if ever his application will be granted. Dito naman po sinasabi yung about po sa FBCI, which is itatakal po mamaya na sa section 27. Number 11, other analogous and related matters. Kung ano pa daw po yung mga pwedeng ilagay na importanteng information po ng aplikante. Section 25, natures of recommendation. The entire PSIR submitted to the trial court is recommendatory in nature, and final recommendation contained on the last page of the PSIR is persuasive in character, addressed to the sound discretion of the trial court, considering that the denial or grant of application is judicial function. Sinasabi po dito yung pagre-recommend dapat po ay contained sa last page po ng PSIR kung magagrant o hindi. Section 26. Signatories. The PSIR shall, as a rule, be prepared by the investigating probation officer on case and approved by the CPPO. Both shall initial each and all the page thereof, except the last page on which they shall affix their respective signature. Dapat daw po ma-prepare ng investigating probation officer at ma-approve ni CPPO at dapat mapirmahan nila parehas yung last page po. Section full-blown courtesy investigation and transfer of conduct of referral investigation. Section 27. Its nature and coverage. Full-blown courtesy investigation FBCI is a general courtesy investigation GCI from another city or provincial parole and probation office which requests for a complete PSIR on a petition for probation pending referral investigation in the probation office of origin. It shall take place when upon initial investigation is gathered that. Dito naman po tinatakil yung pagta-transfer po ng applicant sa another city or provincial parole and probation office. A. Paragraph A. Applicant for probation is transient offender in the place of commission in the place of commission of the crime and or permanent resident of another place. Kailangan daw po kung dun sa pinangyarihan ng krimen ay wala siyang permanent address at siya po ay residente sa paglilipatan niya pong lugar. B. He spent his pre-adolescence or adolescence life in the province or city of origin. Dapat po ay na-spend niya po yung kabataan or bago po siya pumasok sa adolescent life sa probinsya or sa city po na kanyang sa origin city po niya. C. He attend or finish his education there at. Dapat po ay doon siya nagtapos ng pag-aaral niya. And D. His immediate family members, collateral informants or disinterested persons and official who can best authenticate the interfamily relation of bringing the behavior of applicant for probation in the community are resident of the places of origin. Dapat po merong mag-authenticate na kamag-anak po niya or mga official po dun sa origin place po niya. Section 28. Transfer of referral investigation. When proper under the immediate preceding section and warranted under the circumstances, an FBCI may be brought to the attention of the trial court to transfer the conduct of referral investigation to the probation office of the province or city of origin of an applicant for probation. Dito po nakapaloob ang pag-transfer ng referral from trial court to probation office po papunta po sa probation office po na province or city na nag-originate po yung aplikante. Ayun lang po ma'am. Thank you po.
Good day ma'am, I'm Mark Joseph Albesa from Crim 3A, Group 3. Ang re-report ko po ngayon is Section 29 and 30 po. Section 29, transfer of the executive judge in case of suitability for the probation of the applicant for probation. It shall be recommended in the PSIR by the probation office that simultaneous with the grant of probation, the control over the applicant in this probation rehabilitation program be transferred to the Honorable Executive Judge of the RTC of the province or city of origin, subject to the actual visitation and supervision of the probation officer of said province or city. Sa section 29, dito nakapaloob yung mga procedure na gagawin kung paano makaka-apply sa probation ng isang convicted criminal. Ang isa sa procedure nito is yung PSIR. Ang PSIR daw po ma'am is yung taong o yung officer na titingin ng mga findings o documents mo o yung social background mo kung ano yung nararapat na mangyari sa'yo pag ikaw ay mag-apply sa isang probation. Once na natignan daw po ng PSIR yung background mo, i-transfer agad dito sa executive honorable judge o yung pinakamalapit na RTC o regional trial court na tinatawag. Section 30, General Courtesy Investigation. All other courtesy investigation or GCI mentioned in the 3 preceding section not falling within the purview of FBCI to be conducted by another probation office shall brought to the attention of the trial court for the transfer of the conduct of the referral investigation as mentioned in section 27 of these rules to facilitate immediate and true investigation of case and the save time, effort, and money of the part investigator of SPPOS, SRPPOS officer jurisdiction Manila to Valenzuela, from Manila to Quezon City, from Manila to Marikina, etc. Shall henceforth be restricted to considering the monstrous traffic nowadays. Section 31, Probation Order. Period to resolve the application for probation. The application for probation shall be resolved by the trial court not later than 15 days from the date of its receipt of the PSIR. Sinasabi daw po dito is yung ang aplikasyon daw po ng probation ay dapat lutasin agad ng hukuman na hindi lalampas mula sa 15 days sa araw na mula sa datos o data na ito ay natanggap ng PSIR. Section 32, Nature of Probation. Effect of the grant of probation. A. Probation is a but mere privilege in the such its grant or denial rests solely upon the sound of discretion of the trial court. After its grant, it becomes a statutory right, and it shall only be cancelled or revoked for cause and after due notice and hearing. B. The grant of probation has the effect of suspending the execution of the sentence. The trial court shall order the release of the probationer cash or property bond upon which he is allowed temporary liberty as well as release to custodian or ROR from his undertaking. B. Yung pag-grant daw ng probation may epekto na isuspinde yung execution ng sentence ng isang convicted criminal po. At yung trial court naman po ay dapat i-order nila ang release ng isang probationer o yung cash na natitira sa isang convicted criminal which he allowed temporary liberty as well as release the custodian on ROR from his undertaking. Section 33, Effectivity of Probation Order. A probation order shall take effect upon its issuance, at which time the court shall inform the offender of the condition prescribed in the said order or his commission of another offense under which he was placed on probation. Upon receipt of the probation order granting probation, the same shall be entered in docket book for proper recording. An order of denial shall be docketed as well. Dito sa section 23, ma'am, dito sinasabi na yung mga nangyayari o yung mga failure na i-comply ng isang convicted offender, ma'am, is ilalagay dito sa docket book or proper recording po. Yung docket book, ma'am, is yung mga list ng mga cases in court for trial po o yung mga cases na pending. Section 34, finality. The order of the court granting or denying probation shall not be appealable. Dito sinasabi na kung ano daw yung order o yung i-grant ba sa'yo or i-deny ba yung isang probation mo is wala ka ng karapatang i-appeal sa ibang court o saan ka man magreklamo. Ayun lang po.
Good day, ma'am. Ako nga pala si Jerome Kyle L. Abinido. Ang i-report ko po ay Terms and Condition of Probation. Mandatory Condition, Section 35. Ang isang utos na probation ay nangangailangan ng probationer na ihaharap ang kanyang sarili sa probation office para sa pangangasiwa sa loob ng 72 hours mula sa pagtanggap na nagsabing kautusan at mag-ulat sa itinalagang SPPO, SRPPO, o PPO2 o PPO1 sa isang kaso ng hindi bababa sa isang beses sa isang buwan sa panahon ng probation sa ganoong oras at lugar na maaaring tinutukoy ng isang probationer officer. Section 36, Other Condition. Ito ang utos na probation ay maaari ding hilingin sa probationer sa naaangkop na mga kaso. A. Makipagtulungan sa kanyang programa ng probation na paggamot at pagngangasiwa. At B. Matugunan ang kanyang mga responsibilidad sa pamilya. C. Italaga ang sarili sa partikular na trabaho at hindi baguhin ang nasabing trabaho nang walang paunang nagkakaulat na pag-aproba ng CPPO. D. Sumiilalim sa medical o psychological o clinical o gamot na psychiatric na examination at paggamot at mananatili sa isang tinutukoy na institution kapag kinakailangan para sa layunin na iyon. E. Sumunod sa isang programa ng pagbabayad ng sibil na pananagutan ng nasaktang partido o sa kanyang mga tagapamana kapag hiningi ng trial court gaya ng nakapaloob sa desisyon o resolution nito. T. Ituloy ang isang itinakdang sekular na pag-aaral o bokasyonal na pagsanay. G. Ito naman yung dumalo o maninirahan sa isang pasilidad na itinatag para sa pagtuturo, paglilibang o paninirahang ng mga taong nasa probation. H. Umiwas sa pagbisita sa mga bahay na may masamang reputasyon. At I. Umiwas sa pag-inom ng mga inuming nakakalasing ng labis. Ito yung pinahintulutan ng mga supervising probation officer sa kaso o isang otorisadong social worker na bisitahin ng kanyang tauhan at lugar ng trabaho. K. Naninirahan sa mga lugar na inaprobahan ng trial court at hindi upang baguhin ang kanyang tirahan ng walang paunang nakasulat na pag-aproba ng nasabing hukuman. At Section 37, Indemnification. Ito yung mga alintuntunin sa pagbayad ng sibil na pananagutan. Ang pagbabayad para sa sibil sa pananagutan ay dapat gawin gamit ang mga sumusunod na paraan. A. Maaring ibigay ang pagbabayad sa clerk of court ng trial court na siyang kapalit ay ibigay ang halaga sa biktima na maglalabas ng kakulang resibo. At B, ang bayad ay maaaring i-deposit ng probationer sa account ng biktima kung saan ang bank book ay nakatabi sa probation office upang ibigay sa biktima para sa kanyang wastong disposisyon. At C, ang pagbabayad ay maaaring direktong ipatupad sa biktima at ang resibo ay dapat na isampa sa talaan ng pangangasiwa ng probationer na iniingatan sa probationer office. Supervision of Probationers. Section 38, Purpose. Ito ang mga pangunahing nagpapangasiwa ng probation. A. Upang matiyak ang pagsunod ng probationer sa mga kondisyon ng probation na tinutukoy sa mga probation order at ang inersetang probation treatment at supervision program plan. B. Upang B. Upang mapamahalaan ang proseso ng rehabilitation at muling pagsama ng probationer sa komunidad. C. Upang magbigay ng patnubay para sa mga probationer na pagtatakbo at pag-unlad sa isang kapakipakinabang na mamamayan para sa kanyang tuluyang pagsasama sa mainstream ng lipunan. Section 39. Commencement of Supervision Service. Para sa mga layunin ng mga panuntungan ito, ang serbisyo ng pangangasiwa ay magsisimula sa araw ng unang payaman o pag-uulat ng isang probationer. Ang nasabing katotohanan ay nararapat at itinala sa mga tala ng kaso ng kliyente. Section 40. Initial Reports. Ito yung sa pagharap sa probationer para sa kanyang paunang pangangasiwa. Ang supervising o probation officer on case o ang CPPO ay dapat magbigay ng tagubilin sa kliyente gamit ng PPA form upang mapalakas ang kamalayan ng probationer sa mga kondisyon ng mga probation na tinutukoy sa probation order sa isang wika o dialect na naintindihan niya. B. At sa pagtanggap ng isang kopya ng PPA form at isang kopya ng probation order sa isang particular na probationer, ang probation office sa pamamagitan ng CPPO ay agad na matatalaga ng probation supervisor case sa kanyang subordinate probation officer. At kung sakaling ang probationer ay hindi nag-uulat para sa paunang pangangasiwa sa loob ng itinakdang panahon, pagkatapos ng mga probation order ay inilabas sa trial court o ang kanyang kanaroroonan. Yun lang po, maraming salamat. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Patrick Estrella, BS Crim 3A. My report is Section 41 to Section 46 of Parole and Probation Administration. Section 41, Outside Travel. A probation officer may authorize a probationer to travel outside this area of operational territorial jurisdiction for a period of more than 10 days but not exceeding 30 days. Maaring pahintulutan ng mga probationer na lumabas sa kanyang teritoryo sa loob ng 10 araw ngunit hindi lalagpas ng 30 araw. Next is a probationer who seeks to travel for up to 30 days outside the operational territorial and jurisdiction of the probation official file at least 5 days before the intended travel schedule a request for outside travel PPA form with said office property recommended by the supervising probation officer on case and approved by the CPP. Sinasabi dito isang probationer na pinahintulutan maglakbay ng hanggang 30 araw sa labas ng territorial jurisdiction ng probation office ay dapat maghain ng hindi pahaba sa 5 araw bago ang inilaan na schedule ng paglalakbay. Isang kahilingan para sa paglalakbay sa labas. Next, C. If the requested outside travel for more than 30 days, said request shall be recommended by the CPPO and submitted to the trial court for approval. Kung ang kahilingan ng paglalakbay ay sa labas na higit 30 days, ay inirekomenda ng CPPO isubmit sa trial court para maaprubahan. Next is letter D. Outside travel for a cumulative duration of more than 30 days within a period of 6 months shall be considered as courtesy supervision. Kapag naman ang duration is more than 30 days hanggang 6 months, dapat ituring na courtesy supervision. Next is Section 42. Change of residence transfer for supervision. A. Probationer may file a request for a change of residence PPA Form 24 with the City of Provincial Parole and Probation Office, citing the reasons Therefore, this request shall be submitted by the supervising probation office for the approval of the trial court. Next is, in the event of such approval, the supervision and control over the probationer shall be transferred for the concerned executive judge of the RTC, having jurisdiction and control over and said probationer, and under the supervision of the City of Provincial Parole and Probation Office in the place to which the transferred. Thereafter, the executive judge of the RTC to whom jurisdiction over the probation is transferred shall have the jurisdiction and control with respect to him which was previously possessed by the court which granted probation. Letter C. The receiving City of Provincial and Parole and Probation Office and the receiving court shall be duty furnish each with copies of the pertinent probation of order PSIR PPA Form 3 and other investigation and supervision records by the sending probation office for purposes and in aid of continuing effective probation supervision treatment over said probationer. Next is section 43. Absconding probationer. Letter A. A probationer who has not reported for initial supervision within the prescribed period and or whose whereabouts could not be found, located, or determined despite best diligent efforts within a reasonable period of time shall be declared by the proper office as an absconding probationer. Kapag ang isang probationer na hindi nagulat sa sinasabing tamang panahon, may bilang siya sa tumakas na probationer. Next is letter B. Thereafter said, official file with the proper court of a violation report PPA Form 8 containing its finding and recommendation duly prepared and signed by the supervising parole and probation officer and duty noted by the chief parole and probation officer. Next is section 44, modification or revision of probation condition. Letter A. During the probation supervision period, the trial court may motu proprio or upon motion by the City of Provincial Parole and Probation Office by the probationer or his lawyer. Sa pangasiwa ng probation naman, ang trial court ay maaaring motu proprio o sa motion ng City o Provincial Parole and Probation Office o ng probationer o ang kanyang abogado. Next is section 45. Effectivity and finality of modified or revised probation order. The trial court may, letter A, the trial court may modify or revise the probation order which shall become effective and final upon its promulgation and received therefore by the probationer unless specified otherwise by said order. Sinasabi naman dito is maaaring mabaguhin ng trial court ang probation order na magiging epektibo at sa pagpapayag nito at pagtanggap nito ng probationer maliban kung iba ang tinukoy ng nasabing kautusan. Next is section 46 concept. Violation of probation condition. A probationer's specific act and or omissions constitutive of a violation of probation conditions set forth in the original modified or revised probation order shall be reported to the trial court, taking into account the totality of the facts and surrounding circumstances and all possible areas of consideration. Ang sinasabi naman dito, ang particular na gawa ng probationer at ang mga pagkukulang bumubuo ng isang paglabag sa mga kondisyon ng probation na itinakda sa original. Binagong probation order ay dapat iulat sa trial court. That's all.
Section 10, every person has an insurable interest in life and health of himself, of his spouse, and of his children. Bawat taong may insurance, pwede niya tong ipangalan sa magiging asawa niya o kaya magiging anak niya. Yun po yung nakalagay sa section 10 base sa pagkakaintindi ko. Sa section 11 naman po, this insurer shall have the right to change the beneficiary he designate in policy unless he has expressly waived the right in said policy. Sabi naman po sa section 11, hanggat nabubuhay ka po, pwede mong palitan yung nakalagay sa insurance mo. Kunwari, ang nakalagay sa insurance mo, asawa mo, gusto mong ilipat sa anak mo, pwede mo po siyang ilipat basta sa maayos na proseso. Section 30 naman, every interest in property, whether real or personal or any relation, territory or liability in respect thereof of such nature that a conflict fairly might directly, definitely and insure is insurable interest. Ang sabi po sa section 13, ang bawat property daw po natin, maging tunay man yan o hindi, may po yan, may kalapit na kapahamakan. Yun po yung pagkakaintindi ko sa section 30. Yung sa section 40 naman po, uninsurable interest in property may consist in existing interest and interest founded on an existing interest or an extensive complete with an existing interest in that of which the expectancy arises. Section 15, carrier of depository of any kind has an insurable interest in thing held by him as such to the extent of his liability but not to exceed the value of thereof. Lahat daw po, ang sabi po sa section 50 ng pagkakaintindi ko, lahat daw po ng insurance ay may interest. Pero hindi naman po ganong kataas o kababa, yung sakto lang po. Saktong interest ganun. Section 16, contingent or expectant interest is anything not founded in actual right to the thing upon any valid contract for is not insurable. Kapag daw po walang kasulatan o basta pag walang kasulatan daw po ay hindi daw po matatawag na insurance, sabi sa section 16. Section 17 naman, measure insurable interest in property is the extent to which insurer might be indemnified by loss or injury thereof. Sabi naman po dun sa section 17, base sa pagkakaintindi ko, kung malaki po yung hinuhulog nyo sa insurance, mas malaki din daw po yung makukuha nyo. Kumbaga, kung nadisgrasya kayo tapos lagi kayong naghuhulog sa insurance o malaki yung binabayad nyo sa insurance, malaki po yung makukuha nyo. Yun lang po.
Good day, ma'am. Ako nga pala si Regar Kyle Wesley, and ang i-report ko po ay section 53 to 58. The first one, right to counsel. Ang right to counsel is in the hearing or proceeding for violation of probation condition The probationer shall have the right to counsel of his own choice. Ito daw po yung batas na o karapatan na nagbibigay karapatan sa isang individual na kumuha ng isang legal na representasyon o abogado kapag siya ay nahaharap sa kaso o hukuman. Ito'y naglalayong tiyakin na ang isang tao ay may sapat na proteksyon o suporta sa legal na proseso. And sa Section 54, representation for the state. Ito naman yung for the prosecution of serious violation of probation condition during said hearing or proceeding, the state shall be represented by the proper prosecuting officer. Ito naman daw po yung nakakalugan ng ano ma'am, yung gobyerno daw po yung magbibigay sa iyo ng isang abogado kapag ikaw ay walang sapat na pambayad o kakayahan kumuha ng sarili mong abogado, ma'am. Ito daw yung gobyerno daw po ang magkukusang loob na ibigay sa iyo ito. And early termination, Section 55, this is coverage. The following probationers may be recommended for the early termination their probation period. Ang mga probationer ay maaaring may sumite para sa maagang pagtatapos ng kanilang sentence. Ito ay dumaraan sa isang proseso na isinasagawa upang bigyan ng rekomendasyon ang mga probationer na ito ay para mapawalang bisa o mapabilis ang kanilang sentence. And Section 56, the procedure of the early termination probation. The supervising probation officer on case of exercise direct supervision over the probationer shall prepare the motion for the modification of probation in early termination addressed to the court which controls the probation law of 1976 as amended. The motion shall bear the approval the head of the city or provincial parole and probation office without prejudice to the latter taking initiative for preparing said motion. Ito daw yung nagsusupervise sa isang probation officer sa isang kaso na may pagbabago ng probation. Halimbawa, maagang pagtatapos nito ay ipinadala sa hukuman na may upang kumontrol at mga siwa sa probationer at ang maaaring magpahintulot lang nito ay namumuno sa isang city o komunidad. And number 2, the motion shall thereafter forwarded for review and clearance to the regional director who shall act the said motion within a period 3 days after receipt for the same. Ito naman yung yung kailangan isang galaw na ipapasa pagkatapos para sa pagsusuri at pahintulot sa isang regional director na aksyon na kailangan ng aksyon dito ay sa loob na 3 araw. Number 3, shall be motion be approved by regional director. The supervising probation officer on case should file the same with the trial court within 2 days after receiving. At kapag aprobado na daw ito, ma'am, ay yung isang motion ng regional director ay kailangan ni supervising probation officer sa kaso ay dapat ma-insa ito sa loob ng korte sa loob ng 2 araw. In number 4, should be said motion by this approved, this shall be filed in supervision case file record of the probationer for future represent. At kung ito naman daw ay hindi maprobahan ng korte, ay isasampa ito sa provision case or file record ng probationer para sa hinaharap at pagsusuri. At number 5, should the motion be approved by the trial court? Ito naman daw ay inaaprobahan ng isang korte ang isang motion o proseso sa terminate dahil sa matagumpay na pagtatapos ng probation na itinakda sa mga patakaran at ipapatupad.
Good day po. Ako po si Ronquillo Jomari. And i-report ko po Section 60 grounds, termination of the probation supervision case. So sa Section 60 po na grounds, the probation supervision period may be terminated on any of the following grounds. So sa una po, A is successful completion of probation. Kinakailangan po na maging successful and complete po yung mga kinakailangan para mabigyan po sila ng probation yung ating po mga jail prisoner. And sa pangalawa po, probation, revocation of for cause under Section 49 A to C of this rule. So kinakailangan po nilang sundin din po yung mga nasa under po ng Section 49, yung mga rules po doon. And sa pangatlo po is death of the probationer. So automatically po na sila po ay mabibigyan ng probation dahil po sa death of the probationer po. And then sa letter D, early termination of probation. So dito po mabibigyan po sila ng mga early termination of probation dahil po sa complete or ayos na po yung mga kanila pong kinakailangan doon sa para mabigyan po sila ng probation. And then sa E po is other analogous causes or reasons or on a case-to-case basis as recommended by the probation office and approved by the trial court. So kinakailangan po na may aprobado po ng trial court office para po mabigyan po sila ng approbation, no? And kinakailangan po doon na case-to-case basis recommended by probation office of approved by the trial court po. And then sa Section 61 naman po, termination report, the cities and provincial parole and probation office shall submit to the trial court a probation officer's final report PPA from 9 to 30 days before the expiration of the period of probation, embodying among others of the following. So sa A po dito is brief personal circumstances of the probationer. So kailangan po naka-brief yung personal information po nung isang probationer po para po malaman po nila yung kanilang kung may mga naka-pending pa po na kaso sa kanila before or para mabigyan po sila ng probation. And sa letter B po, brief criminal circumstances about this case, criminal case number, court branch, period of probation, initial and last date of probation. So kinakailangan din po na i-brief po nila yung mga criminal circumstances about sa isa pong kaso nung bibigyan ng probation. Yung kanila pong mga criminal case number, sa court branch, period of probation, initial, last date ng kanila pong probation. And sa letter C po, prescribed probation, treatment, and supervision program. So dito po binibigyan po sila ng mga probation treatment para po ma-supervise po yung kanila pong kailangan na para mabigyan po sila ng probation. So next po, and then po sa letter D po is probationer's response to the treatment plan and program. So kinakailangan po dito ng mga probationer po na mag-response din po sila dun sa mga treatment and plan and programs po na binibigay po sa kanila para mabigyan po sila ng probation and para po maging successful po yung pagbibigay sa kanila ng probation. And then sa letter E, recommendation to discharge the probationer from probation and the restoration of all his civil rights. So nire-recommendation po dito na kapag to discharge the probationer, from probation and the restoration of all his civil rights na kapag po na-discharge po siya dun sa kanya pong kaso and nabigyan po siya ng probation, maibalik po yung mga civil rights na kinakailangan niya po, karapatan niya din po. No? And then sa such other relevant and material facts and information which may be required by trial court. So kinakailangan din po na aprobado ng trial court para mabigyan po ng probation yung isa pong probationer.
Good day ma'am, ako po si John Makic L. De La Cruz. Ang topic ko po is continuation of termination of the probation supervision case. Section 62 po, final discharge. Sinasabi po dito na kapag na-fulfill na ng isang probationer yung mga terms and condition ng probation is pwede na siyang hindi supervise o mawakasan na yung pag-supervise sa kanya o palayain na siya ng tuluyan. O yun po yung sinasabi dito sa Section 62 final discharge. Next po is Section 63 legal effects of final discharge or termination order. Letter A is final discharge of probationer. Dito naman is i-restore o ibabalik na lahat ng civil rights niya na nawala nung siya ay nakakulong. Next naman po is letter B. Dito naman is kailangan both party, probationer and probation office is kailangan bigyan ng copy o dapat may copy ng final discharge o termination of order. Yun naman po ma'am at maraming salamat.